it's Mpumi Lola, and welcome back to my channel. For those that have subscribed, thank you so much for subscribing, and if you are viewing for the first time, make sure to click the subscribe button, like, comment down below. Today my sister and I are going to a seminar where motivational speakers and poets will be speaking the struggles of anxiety, depression and hardships that they have been facing, and they will be motivating people like us. So I can't wait to go there because there's so much to learn and so much to take in. And what's nice about this is that a 16-year-old is actually hosting this. She's following the path that God said she must follow, which is such an inspiration on its own. So yes guys, I will show you the venue and everything. Make sure to watch the whole video, and at the end I will be talking about this day as usual. So yeah, let us go.
To welcome you to my first ever seminar. My name is Untitled Chapter. I'm a poet and a motivator.
Which means, akekho umuntu who has authority over your life. It's you. So
Okay guys, so we are going back home right now. Not necessarily home, but my grandma's home, and we come from a seminar right now. Shine your light, you know. There is poems and motivational speakers speaking, you know, and I'm inspired. We'll talk about that and reflect on this day.
It's raining. It's raining.
We get home.
It's just like,
yeah, so we are walking right now to catch a taxi to my grandma's place. Then from there, we're going home. Yeah. Okay, this is Kwezi Mufulo, my grandmother's Gasi, but we're going now. We're going home. Okay, so I am back home. I feel tired. Yes, I'm tired. I had a long day, but a very fruitful day. So nice when you like eat fruits, you become so healthy, good, fresh, you know, brings out the good skin. Yeah guys, so today was very inspiring. There were emotional moments indeed, very emotional moments. Wow, you know, but it proves that God is alive and God lives. He truly lives. My word, you know. So today was a touching day. I learned a lot from the motivational speakers and the poets. So many of them have been through a lot, and one of them that I just want to talk about specifically is Sarahina. Why she touched me was because of all the things that she went through, and the fact that when we saw her today, it didn't look like it. She didn't look like what she went through. She looked like somebody who has it all, who has it together, who has never ever had to go through all the things that she said she went through. Why I want to talk about her is because like it's something that most people need to hear, and so many people go through these things and don't know how to come out of it. So I just want to talk about her and her coming out of this, being hope for you, that if she could actually come out of it, you can also, you know. I cannot actually say everything that she said or everything that she told us, but I will just briefly point out the things that she went through, she became, she was, and who she is now, you know. One, she was abandoned, neglected when, I'm sorry guys, English is just not my mother tongue, and sometimes I want to speak Venic. It's just that English is an international language and most people understand English, so I wouldn't want to be unfair to just talk Venic anyway. And yes, if anybody knows some subtitles that I can use, anything like that to help me, you know, to I speak fluently when I kind of like speak Venic and English at the same time, because sometimes I stammer with English. Yeah, so if anybody is willing to help me and just help me with this, thank you so much. Your help will be highly appreciated. Okay, now we're talking about Sarahina, right? She was neglected. She was a neglected child. At the age of 4 or 5, she was raped. She was sexually molested. Yes, she was molested. And she had parents. Her parents left her with her other relatives while they were building a life for her. Her parents were thinking that they're building a life for this beautiful child that they had. Instead, they didn't know what she was going through, what was happening to her, and her parents never knew anything of the sexual harassment, because the person who sexually harassed her didn't want her to tell. You know, it was a secret between them. So she went from a child who was bubbly and lovely to a child who was dark inside, who became a bully, and so many things happened. She was everything she never thought that she could ever be. And then secondly, when she was 7, her parents fetched her to come live with them now, because they were established and everything that they worked for paid off, right? She came into this big mansion with big cars, and they were highly regarded in their society, and they're sort of like in church. They were Christians, like deep worshipping Christians. And her going through what she went through was not happy at all. She had her own room, slept in a beautiful bed, but she didn't feel like it. She felt like there were thorns all the time because of the pain that was inside of her. And there was a lot of food inside the house. She had food all the time, and she didn't even eat the food. And she had transportation. She had the dream of what most people would think is a perfect life. From the outside view, her life seemed perfect, but nobody knew what was happening inside. So she had all those things that the world actually wants, but she couldn't enjoy them, nor even see a point in having them. Okay, and as a child, she never told anybody, and people thought there was something wrong with her, and because of what she went through, she didn't tell anybody. As she grew, she became a school dropout, she became a street kid, she became an alcoholic, she went through depression and anxiety, suicidal thoughts. She went through a lot. She became a prostitute at some point, and then a cheater at some point, and a liar, a murderer, all those things combined. So it was alright, let me hold myself. It is touching. That's because she explained everything in detail, to the point that I can never be the same again. I can never be the same person again after what she said. It is so important. You know, her message through all of this was that, she even became an atheist at some point. She said she's parting ways with God. She's not believing in God anymore. God doesn't exist to her. So she became everything that a person wouldn't want to be, you know. But somehow the Lord did amazing things. And through her experience, I am here life changed because of that. How many more lives are changed because of her story? You know, she knows God. She knows God because of what she went through. She knows God because of what happened to her. She knows that God can change a situation in just a second. You know, with all the things that she went through and had become, it will seem as impossible for a person like that to actually be breathing right now, to actually be living a life filled with laughter and joy and having a peaceful life, a sound mind, love inside of her heart, loving everybody, you know. And it shows how God works, like to the point that she didn't take that pain to blame God now. Okay, she did at first, but not today. Right now, what she said, that if she had to start over her life or change anything about her life, what would it be? And she said that nothing at all, because it has made her a public speaker, a motivational speaker, a preacher, you know, speaking to young girls, speaking to all those people who are going through what she is going through, and she understands them because she has been there. You know, she was talking about dimming your lights, that everybody has a light. Everybody has a light to shine in this world. If I'm not mistaken, Matthew 5 verse 16 says that in the same way, let your light shine to all people, that they may know all the good things that you do and praise the Father in heaven. Meaning that for everything that is happening to us, you know, everything that we do is for the glory of the Father. And everybody born in this world has a purpose. Everybody in this world has a light to shine. There is something about you that another person does not have. I may speak like this. You may speak the words that I speak right now, but it will not sound the same. It will not come out with the same personality. You know, it is different because I'm me and you are you. And that's what's beautiful about all of us, how our differences make us like one. You know, we have the same spirit that leads us. Although we all have different gifts, we all have different talents that we use for one purpose, you know, reaching out to each other, you know, loving each other and bringing people to Jesus, knowing Jesus and having eternal life. Everybody has a purpose to make people reach that place, you know. So I was inspired that the light that has been shown through her was so amazing. She talked about how her light was dimmed, but right now it's shining. She was the one that dimmed her own light, and the light is never gone. So guys, whatever you are going through right now, whatever it is that is inside of you, whatever it is that you need to let go, let it go. Give it to God. Whatever it is that you cannot forgive, let it go, because unforgiveness actually brings bitterness and resentment and actually takes away a whole part of your life. Knowing that if you had forgiven, you would have moved on and become something better, or do something better, or show the world a better you know, and be the bigger person, and be a person who is a God pleaser, not a people pleaser. So it's so important for us to shine our light. Do what God says you must do, no matter what, and let every situation that takes place in your life remind you of the light that is inside of you, that you are the salt, you know. Don't let the salt die, you know. Just sprinkle some salt that is enough for everybody to taste what is inside of you, and let your light just glow. Imagine how many people can be changed because of your situation, because of what you had to go through. And at the end of the day, believing in God, telling them about God's glory. It's because of her praising the Lord that people now are going to come to God because they see what a good God he is. They can see that the situation that she has been in is kind of like impossible. Humanly, it looks like an impossible situation, that in part 1 of her story, or part 2, she could have died. She would have died at that point, but God didn't allow it because she had a story to tell. And the story that she tells today is a story that today inspires a lot of people, even me. So it's so important. I learned that let your light shine, and with what you're going through, you need it so that you can actually shine with it. So guys, take everything that happens to you positively. Take it as God wants me to go through this, because he knows that my light actually needs this so that it can be able to shine so bright. It can be able to say, God, you are glorified. You deserve all the glory. You deserve all the praise. You deserve all the worship at all times. And yeah, I'm a bit emotional right now. That's because of what makes me emotional is how one person can go through what they went through and come out refined because of God. It is God that touches me in this situation. It is God that touches me in this wholeness. It is God that touches me through all of this more than anything. It is the God in Sarahina that makes me know that God is alive and he lives, you know. And there's something important that she said. She said that sometimes you dim your own light by hiding what's happening to you, and not wanting people to know what you are going through, because you feel ashamed, embarrassed, and feel like you can't tell anybody. But that thing is the very thing that can actually make somebody wake up. It's something that so many people are going through. They are hiding. They are in closed doors. They are not saying anything. They are quiet. They are quiet, and that quietness, that silence is what kills, kills them and kills others that are supposed to know that this thing doesn't actually kill. This thing brings life. When you know God, this thing brings hope. When you know God, this thing, builds up the faith inside of you that, yes, I went through it. I came out through it, and I am well refined, because right now it is making my light shine. So whatever it is that you're ashamed of, whatever it is that you feel like people will judge you for, is the very same thing that will please God if you go out and testify about his wonderfulness, when you understand that God rescues and he will rescue you from it. I then didn't mention the part where she said that this is a long story. Like her husband was somebody that she didn't even understand why he was saying all those good things after being all the things that people wouldn't want to be, right? And it was like he was the one that spoke to her. She was not married. It was still a guy. He was still a guy to her. They were not married or anything, but the things that he was saying, the things that he said to her, were the things that he didn't know of. And that proved that actually God hears her story. God hears her, and it's time to let go, move on, forgive, and time to shine her light. And it is that point in her life where she had to decide whether she wants to continue dimming her light or shining her light. And she actually continued to shine her light. And also after that, she said it started like slowly. She had to speak about it first. She had to rewind what was happening in her life. She had to look at it, face it, look at it and face it each and every day. until she accepted it, until she stopped being in denial, and until she let that not have power over her. And that was what gave her power. Not run away from it, face it, and let her build it. Shows how God can make something good out of a very sad, hurtful situation. Some things are just not bad, some things are just painful, you know. So God even shows that even in pain there's still hope. We all have scars, and scars will be there, but the Lord heals. He does heal. So guys, I don't really know what to say today's lesson was, or what I was talking about, but there are so many things. One, God heals. Two, you must shine your light. Three, you go through situations in life that make you shine your light. Okay, it's shining your light basically through everything. So don't forget to shine your light. And right now, when you read the book of Matthew 5 verse 13 to 16, you'll read it more with understanding, you know, because we always read those verses but we don't understand and we don't apply them in our lives. So guys, thank you so much for listening. Hope that this message actually says something to you, and if there are any questions that you'd like to ask me, you are more than welcome to ask me. So yes, I love you always and forever with the love of God. See you in my next video. Love you so much. I keep saying love you because, you know, there's so much love that I want to give to you guys.